Well, hello, 716 Angler. It has been a long time since I have done a video. And I know I am not out ice fishing. I was hoping to bring you some content from that, but I do have some, and I should be posting it later this week. I have to edit it. I went out to Wilson Boat Harbor, and I didn't do very good, but I have some interesting footage to show you. Conditions have been just brutal. I mean, God bless you if you can get out in this sub-Arctic weather, but it has been bone chilling and windy. It has just been not a great season. We've been out a few times. We caught some fish. Nothing to be bragging about. A lot of small fish, especially in Wilson. You're only fishing like 8 feet of water. So these fish, with the ice and the snow on top of the ice, it's insulated. There's not any light penetration, and they're just lethargic. And I have literally used every tool in my box under the sun to try to catch these fish. And I tell you, they're there. I see them on my Fish Pro camera, and I got a little review of that in the content that I have that I'm going to be coming out with soon. Great tool. If you don't have an underwater camera, I'll leave a link, but you should get one. It works a lot differently than just a regular flasher. So you got your flasher, you're monitoring depth, and you see your separation from your bottom, and then okay, there's a fish. You get them to chase it, whatever, but to see the actual fish on camera and reacting to what you're dropping in the water, that's huge. Let me tell you, it makes a big difference, because there were some things I would drop in the water and they didn't want anything to do with it. And then I would change something, and then all of a sudden they're coming in. So I mean, it helps. It's definitely a useful tool to have if you can get one. With that being said, the weather has not been very cooperative. Right now, there's ice everywhere. If you want to go out ice fishing, you basically can get anywhere. Wilson's got, like, I would say 10 to 12 inches of ice. I mean, it is solid. It's going to be there for a long time. But there is very good weather pattern coming up. Weather is going to change drastically. Starting tomorrow, it's going to get warm, and I think it's going to be a big game changer once we get this snow off the ice, because we all know snow is our enemy for ice fishermen. It insulates ice. It doesn't allow it to form any more ice. With light penetration, it definitely makes a difference. So tomorrow it's going to be warm. The rest of the week's going to be relatively warmer-ish. Saturday and Sunday are looking good. We're looking Sunday, maybe potential winter storm. They're talking, but I don't think it's gonna amount to anything, just with the warmer temps. But we'll see. They say in Buffalo, you wait 5 minutes, the weather's going to change. I mean, it's just like going out on blue water. You go out there, it's a beautiful day, and the wind kicks up, and you're heading back into shore. So, pardon me, I just woke up. Again, I'm a night shifter, so I need my coffee in the morning. I won't be able to do these videos. In fact, I wouldn't be able to function. So, with that being said, we're going to get out this week. I don't know where yet. Hopefully, I'd really like to get to Sturgeon Point Thursday morning. A lot of guys there. It's been crowded out there, but these guys are going out a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. I mean, that is a long haul without a sled or a machine to do that. I can hoof it a mile. I get with my Smitty sled, as long as everything's packed down. It's like pulling nothing. But anything over that, no. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I feel very comfortable with that major crack. There's a major crack that opened up over the week. Looks like it came more westerly. Came across Lake Erie. Big crack. I guess there's some videos out there. They're ice fishing in the whole lake freaking moved. If you could say that would be a pucker factor, yeah, I would have to agree with that. Anyways, I want to talk about some of the lures I've been using this year, and if you haven't looked them up, I might have mentioned them before, I might not, but we're using these guys, slab grabbers. Okay, they're called McGaffey's Hook LLC. You can find them online. I can leave a link in the description. But I just picked up a few of them. I believe these are the that might be a 1/4, 1.5, maybe a 1.5 inch. But I got a couple of them that are painted. Okay, I'm gonna try these guys out, and let me tell you, the perch go wild after these. Okay, so what happens? You drop it in, put a ball bearing swivel on this, it drops, and the thing goes wild. It goes forward, it goes back, side to side, and it just flutters down, and then you jig it up, and they just go wild after it. However, with this weather, man, I have not been able to get the big perch. The big perch come up to it, and they look at it, and they say, huh, I wonder what that is. I know I'm really hungry, but I'm not going to eat it. Like, I'm not even joking you. They have been incredibly lethargic. And it might just be where I'm fishing. I don't know. But I've heard a lot of places people are going out and the fish have been acting the same, man. You really got to work. Okay. But that might change now where the weather's going to be warm up. If we could get the snow off the ice, I think it's going to be good. Definitely the snow should be off the ice in Wilson this week. I would imagine so. Because there's only, with the wind the other day, I mean, there's probably only maybe an inch or two of ice, snow. That should be gone. I would probably say by Thursday, Friday maybe. But these are, check them out if you want to get perch. They would probably work. They would work for walleye too. So far on the camera, the perch go crazy after this. Okay, they all chase it. So I got a few of those. I got a couple bigger size ones that I'm gonna try in the springtime out in Sturgeon for the perch frenzy coming up, and once the blue water opens up, and we'll be out there on my boat. I can't wait to give you that content because we are gonna have a hell of a summer. Got a lot of plans for this summer. Walleye tournament coming up, South Towns walleye tournament. We're gonna be doing that. So anyways, slab grabber. See this little bead? That's technically your bait. So you can get those in different colors. Okay, they have a variety of different colors. You can always tip these. However, these hooks are meant to come out very easily. Okay, so when you hook onto a fish and you get them up the hole, man, I mean, it's just like gone. Okay, you don't have to pull these out. You don't have to get your pliers out. They don't swallow these. Okay, so I have lost a couple jumbos in Wilson. When I had them up at the hole, they came off this hook. So be aware of that if you're trying to tip it. It just takes up more of that room on that hook. Okay, I don't really suggest it. Just my opinion. Other things I'm using: iron decoys. Okay, super good action on these. Same concept. They drop, but they don't typically fan out left, right, in front or back of you. A lot of different colors. This is a red. Red. Okay. Got a little chartreuse and orange one with gold. Okay, a lot of different colors. I got a whole slew of these guys. Another chartreuse. So iron decoy, check those out. They've been definitely interested in them. Another thing, the old tried and true method. the Swedish pimple. Okay, out of everything I used, the perch are slamming them. Okay, especially the smaller one that I have, which is completely silver, and it's got a little red tag on it. Okay, now these you can tip. Okay, you could put maybe a minnow head or a wax worm, whatever you want in there. They definitely love those. And another thing I just got, have not used it yet. Gonna try to use them Thursday. We're gonna see what happens here, but I think they're gonna work good. I think they're a 1 1/4 ounce, I believe. These guys, slender spoons, from Custom Jigs and Spins. Okay, I got a bunch of these guys. The smaller versions. I got a couple glow ones. Okay, so I'm gonna try these guys out and let you know how they work. From what I hear, they're really good. They come down and they look like a bait fish, and they just, they flutter down. But as I said, you can have every lure under the sun, but you got to see what the fish are reacting to. Especially, as I said, having that underwater camera, dropping it down there, and you see these fish come in, and they look at it and they walk. They swim away. Okay, so it's imperative. I think it's imperative. I mean, for the price of it, you can get ones way cheaper than I got. You can get ones probably for like 100, 150. I think mine was like 175. And then I bought the tripod for it where you can pan it left to right. Highly recommend the tripod. Because if you don't have the tripod, that thing, you're going to drop it down and it's going to be sitting on maybe a bucket or something. And it's never going to be flush. Okay, it's never going to be completely even where you can pan it left to right, have a nice even picture. It's always going to be like tilted or moving around. So get the tripod. So anyways, going back to fishing this week, a big warm-up coming up. Looking very good Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday they're talking about maybe winter storm. I don't know, we'll see. But we'll be out. Hopefully sturgeon, maybe Wilson. There's a ton of fish in Wilson, man. They're there. I've talked to guys, and a few guys got some nice ones. One guy was telling me he got about 15, but he says they were pushing the limit on keepers. They were like maybe 8 inches, man. Another guy was there a couple days prior, said he came home with 20 nice ones. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. You'll see in my one video, I had this big pike. He was on the camera, and the thing was literally sitting there for like 20 minutes, staring at my lure. Took one swipe at the slab grabber, but didn't get hooked. And so he scared away the fish for a while. I was getting kind of aggravated. I just wanted him to leave, but he wouldn't. So coming up, there's a fishing show, fishing expo. If you do your research, they come every year. I believe it is in Niagara Falls. I haven't been there in a few years. I believe it's the Niagara Fishing Expo, Greater Niagara Fishing Expo. So that's coming up. I will definitely be there. It's Thursday 19th, Friday 20th, Saturday 21st, and Sunday the 22nd. Ton of exhibits, dealers, speakers. I will definitely be there Sunday. I cannot go Thursday, Friday, Saturday because I'm working. But hopefully we'll see some new cool stuff for this summer. I definitely need to get a few things. Maybe a landing net. I think the one that I have is about to break. It was about to break last year when we were pulling in some walleye. And I never replaced it, so probably gonna look for one of those. And you know what, there's probably gonna be a ton of different new lures there, and if you're an avid fisherman, you can never have too many lures. And my wife is about to kill me with that, because I got a lot of lures. So that's coming up soon. That should be fun. Check out some new stuff, maybe learn a few things. But other than that, I'm gonna have a couple reviews coming up. Hopefully we catch some freaking fish. I do have some content coming up. I caught a few small perch, but you know, it's nothing to brag about. But hey, it's fishing, so you never know. Oh, show you some other stuff I'm using that they have liked. Some nice tungsten bugs, okay, and some small tungsten jigs. So we're using those. For whatever reason, they like the smaller presentation, unless you put on a big old slab grabber or, you know, a medium-sized spoon. There's like no in between. For whatever reason, I don't know, and it might just be the area that I'm, you know, fishing. One thing they did like, and I actually really do like this lure. I like the action of it. This guy right here, twitching puppet. Okay, it's got a little fan on the back, so when it drop it, it goes like this, and then when you jerk it, it'll, you know, kind of swim away. Good action on that one, and they slammed that one too. But again, they were all the small ones. All the big ones came up to it and looked at it, and it was, I got too much. I don't have much energy. My metabolism's too slow right now because it's so damn cold, and you know, we're fishing in 8-9 feet of water. So, but as I said, hopefully that's going to change this week with this big warm up, and we'll try to use some live bait, some live minnows. Maybe do some product reviews. Definitely the Fish Pro. I got a low video on that. Kind of showing you the screen and the fish on it, and you know, showing you the ins and outs. But so far I've been super happy about it. Battery, that issue with the battery that I posted before, yeah, that battery has lasted a long time. It is definitely by far one of my best ice fishing tools. I don't even really bring my flasher unit out. I haven't been. Probably going to bring it this week just because it's going to be warmer and I'm going to be moving a lot. That's probably another key aspect. I typically set up in my hut and I'm just like, okay, I'm comfortable, I'm not moving. So this week, now that it's a little warmer, we're going to be moving, or I'm going to be moving. Whoever's going to go with me, I don't know yet. And I think that's probably the key. Okay, you're just going to have to keep hole hopping, you know, to get on these fish, because right now, I mean, it's so freaking cold that their metabolism, especially the bigger ones, their metabolism is shot. Okay, like they're not hungry, you know, they're not hungry right now. And all the little ones, you know, they're young bucks, they're gonna be like, oh well, yeah, we'll eat that, but that's not what we want. So we need a little warm up. We need some sun penetration, and we need to get those flashy spoons in there, because it seems to be those are the key ticket to catching the bigger ones. Also, I'm gonna try, I've been fishing more towards the bottom. I'm gonna try fishing these spoons up higher. So I read something online that, especially the slender spoon, they work better higher in the water column. So we'll see how that is. So yeah, so can't wait for blue water coming up. It's gonna be, oh man, this summer is gonna be awesome. It is gonna be trip after trip after trip, man. It's all I do in the summer. And this year we're not going on any vacations this year, so we're staying local. We are taking our trip to Chameau, probably, if I had to guess, probably end of May, to get on that spring perch bite. Me, a few of my buddies that were supposed to go to Chameau for the ice fishing trip, obviously we couldn't get out there from the winter storm. And right now that place is a mess. There's like 2 feet of snow on that bay and slush, and it's just, unless you got a tracked vehicle, you ain't getting out there. And I'm glad we were able to reschedule that. So my buddy's gonna take his boat, I'm gonna take my boat. and we'll get down there and hopefully do some damage on these fish. Because we know we're going to do damage on the walleye this summer. That is for sure. As soon as the spring's, the water opens up, these fish are going to be everywhere and going crazy. It's the best time right after early ice out. Oh man, you get out there for those perch out in Sturgeon Point. If you can get out, that's another thing. It's in the springtime, it's pretty volatile with the winds. So we'll see what happens. But this is the first full year I've owned my boat. So last year we got it late. I don't know. It might have been, maybe June. I don't remember. But we didn't have a full spring with it. Almost a full spring, but later spring we got it, and then the rest is history, man. We just went out all the time. If I had this camera when we were out this summer, boy, that would have been fun, because I have so many pictures and so much content, and just memorable good times. If you guys or if anybody out there is thinking about getting a boat and they're like, oh, it's too expensive, it's so much money, you know what, man, you only live once. Do it. It was the best decision I ever made. Yeah, it is expensive, but you know what, it is worth the price to make those memories with your friends and family and kids. And I have not looked back. So, and it's only going to get better from now on. We got all this time and the boat, and the kids are really getting into it, especially my youngest. She is going to be the fisherman and the hunter in the family. So yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully later this week I'll have some more content. I do have more content, I just have to edit it, because right now it's kind of just a hodgepodge of stuff. So we'll get back to you hopefully later this weekend, and hopefully have a better update and better videos on me catching more fish. But man, I can't wait. Can't wait till this ice is gone. I love ice fishing, but I can't wait to get that boat in the water. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.